I spoke to the IPPR's Graham Hopwood about this flagrant abuse of taxpayers' money.
Well, I think it's good that people are asking questions, because obviously it's been the rule for a long time that ministers and deputy ministers can use these cars for their personal use, for anything they want to do privately, as long as it doesn't embarrass government. Supposedly that's what the cabinet guidelines say. And I think it's been brought into focus more this year, probably because of the economic crisis in Namibia and government's fiscal crisis. So people are rightly asking questions: is this a good use of resources? And should ministers be trying to cut back and respect the need to save money more? So I think in view of that, Namibians are right to ask questions about things like, why are GRN cars in Cape Town when government officials are apparently on holiday? Why are they being used to pick up bags of cement? So I think my personal view is that these government cars should just be used for government business. The private stuff should be ruled out, because these ministers and deputy ministers are on salaries where they can get private loans to get their private cars like everybody else. And in times like this, when money is short, we need to focus all the funds that we can on frontline services, like providing health services and education. So the ministers should just take a step back and say, okay, we respect that, and let's just use these vehicles for government business. Anything else, we use our private cars. I think it would be an act of solidarity with the trouble and difficulties that most of the population are going through in a financially difficult time. Well, citizens are doing what they can do, in the sense that they're using their cell phone cameras to take photos of these cars when they feel they are being abused, when they're parked in disabled spots, when they're going out of the country apparently without Treasury authorization. The Ministry of Finance has said that car should have had a Treasury authorization. We haven't heard yet from the ACC as to whether it did, but it shouldn't take long to establish that. I think citizens are doing the right thing by trying to expose what's happening by taking photos and reporting these things on social media. But what government needs to do is to clarify the rules urgently. It's good that the President has gone to Ethiopia on a commercial flight to save money, and I think he is trying to set an example to his political subordinates, his ministers and his deputy ministers and other officials, of what they should be doing. But to be honest, that the example isn't going to work. We know that he also called for them to declare their interests and their financial assets, and only one minister, the Minister of Finance, did so. So I'm afraid that the ministers are going to have to be told that they can't use their cars in certain ways, and that needs to be urgently clarified by the presidency.